What's going on, you guys? So check it right. We all know Morale Pablo, the guy who runs Clout, Cassette, where artists go to get their music videos shot and directed. Now, it seems like he's on a serious crash out on Instagram, where he's pretty much been airing out all the artists he's worked with over the past few years. Now, because this is a hip-hop channel, I'll only be focusing on the hip-hop artists he spoke on, because to be honest with you, there's too many artists he's been getting at, and I'm not trying to have this video be too long. But anyway, starting with the first crash out, we have Morale exposing his grievances with Maglera Dope Boy. So he goes on to say, PSA, I will no longer be associated with Maglera Dope Boy. We had a great run together and we shared a lot of happy and genuine moments. I think, at this point, I don't even know what to believe, but yeah, we have our differences, which we have overcome. Right now, I personally don't think we see eye to eye based on how he has responded to my feedback on certain work, and I genuinely feel like ungita bari, because it would take me a lashing out for him to reply properly, and I'm tired of that. Therefore, I will no longer be working with him after the last two projects that need to be released, which I will not be putting my name on because to me, it's unfinished work. That does not make him a bad guy at all. He has been good to me, but I feel like I've overlooked a lot and I've let a lot of things pass while bottling them up. So I am cutting ties completely. If I am to ever work with him, it will be via agency, no other way, thank you. And then he continued by saying, PSA number 7, Maglera once told me that if I post about him, because he doesn't want me to post about Ghost Ruby's Grootman, his people gon' deal with me. So if anything happens to me, you know where to go. Now, this is wild because he's definitely making it seem as if Maglera is moving like a mafia boss out here. Now, we all know he's from the streets, but Maglera is way too established, way too brand friendly to engage in BS that would lead to someone getting physically harmed. But anyways, Morale ended up posting a video of Maglera in an emotional state, speaking on their relationship.
Online, boy. Big part of me feels like you could have spoken to me about so many of these things, like the way I talked to you. When I told you about that shit with that girl on Instagram, it was genuinely out of love. I'm at the airport right now. Just had one of the worst days ever in Botswana. Just called my mom, cried my heart out because also lots happening, dog, and like one thing I want you to know, Morales, I've always fucked with you. Always, boy. I never had a bone in my heart that wanted to disrespect you. But today, all those messages you sent, I was like, dog, this guy could have spoken to me. I always speak to him. Maybe sending you this video just so you know you don't need to respond, you don't need to go with me to America, nothing like that. But nothing's more painful than me calling you out of love and then you tell me the things you hate. When I called you about that thing with that hand, it was because I didn't like what was going to happen. In my heart, I knew something bad is going to happen, and it did. And then that's when you decide to tell me things you don't like and things you're unhappy about. And that's okay, though. But for me to even explain myself and call you that many times, I don't do that with people because and I know I'm a real person. I show love as much as I can. And all that fun makes me forget. Leave piano hard and all those things. Those are things you can tell me as your friend. The things I'm going through make me do things like that. And the difference is I don't have niggas like it easy to call and say, yo, pa, what must I do or what? No. And that's okay. But I never wanted to owe you rag. I never wanted you to feel like Kutela Masipa Joe. Like 13 bands is like, it's not a crazy amount. I was just so overwhelmed by everything I was doing that I genuinely forgot. And I genuinely fought with the boys because I was fighting with them about my shit. I don't know what else to say, but it's like, we're good, dog. I'm sorry about everything. But you must just know, I never wanted to do that to you, pal. Ever.
Now, Morale had his own version of events of how things went down, and it goes on to say, really thought you were my mates, but it's time for me to face reality. I sat back and I thought of all the subtle things you've said to me that show me you were not my mates, but I ignored them. Like you being concerned about yourself when I was speaking out on the situation I had with Cassper. He disrespected me at a job that he didn't even pay for. All he had to do was keep quiet and play his part, but no, he was a boss. Instead of you talking to him, since you are close to him, you chose to tell me to be silent. What kind of friend is that? You told me my company name is not meaningful and that we should start our own thing together. Red flag. You told me I should go back to Dylan because he was the first to tell a tale. Never did you ever ask me why I don't fuck with these niggas. You chose to hear them out first. You told me if I ever posted you, your homies would deal with me. Why would I ever post you in the first place? Because you were very aware of what you were doing. I ignored the signs, bro. You're not my guy. You said you directed the Puma campaign we did. How? Just because I didn't say a word? Just because I shot everything without making a noise? Cool, you came up with the concept, but you didn't direct anything. You've never been my co-director, bro, ever. And you're certainly not my mates. I feel like you've manipulated me countlessly, pretending to be a real nigga to me, and that's okay. You were just being yourself. It's my fault I let it go on this long. Wish you well, King. So it definitely sounds like Morale felt like he was being manipulated in their relationship. Now, obviously, we'll never really know the truth as to what happened between them, but it seems like they had a genuine relationship beyond music, but unfortunately, the business side of things might have ruined that. Now, moving on to the next victim, we have Mash Beats, where Morales said the following, PSA number 4, I will no longer be associated with Mash Beats, LOL. Mash is a very chill guy. He just needs to watch his circle. You didn't do anything to me. I've watched you sacrifice your own career for someone else before. Please don't do it again. We are growing up, King. We can work via agency. Thanks for putting me onto Nasty C. Good luck with your career. Now, a few things, right? When it comes to Mash's circle, while there's only 2 individuals who are consistently around him, and that's Words and their manager, Barbara and Clint. Now, both guys seem to be genuine, and I don't ever foresee Mash and Words ever falling out because their relationship, or I guess brotherhood, definitely seems solid. But I mean, we thought the same thing about Reese and Mash, and we saw how things turned out, which I guess Morale was alluding to when he said that he's seen Mash sacrifice his career before for someone else. So it definitely tells me that he still isn't fucking with Reese. But I guess that's a story for another day. Now, one question before we move on, right? Why distance yourself from Mash when he hasn't done anything to you? It just feels like once he was able to get what he wanted from Mash, which is the opportunity to work with Nasty C, while then cutting ties with Mash on a more personal level was more beneficial for his own business interests. Now, the next victim on the list is Zoocci Coke Dope, and Morales said the following, PSA number 5, all of this just boils down to respect. I feel like I haven't been respected by a lot of folks, and I'm done pretending. I don't want any apologies. I don't want nothing. Let's talk via agencies. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Also, I don't want to work with anyone who works with Zoocci Coke Dope. He doesn't like me because I'm cool with Marcus Harvey. Marcus Harvey has been good to me, and it's not work related. I am fully anti-Zoocci Coke Dope projects. Now, he wasn't done there, so when it comes to the Violate music video by DJ Speedster, which features Zoocci, Morales said the following, LOL, I was supposed to shoot this video. As soon as Speedster sent me the song and I heard Zoocci's voice, I knew it was Chai. But I didn't want to tell Speedster because Zoocci is powerful. I don't know what he uses, but it's too much. I need it. Plus, you're the dealer. LOL, so I sent Speedster treatment and we agreed on a budget and everything. Jiggy Speedster's trying to pay the day before the video. Lisejo, since when? You're not that guy, bro. You must bother. You must bother salt. You must bother salt. So yeah, I told him I have other things to do, and he still got mad at me. How? Now look, you got Kanye West in a low budget video. Now, Violate wasn't the only music video he declined to work on. He also rejected Flame's offer to direct the counter visualizer because Zoocci worked on the production for the record. So their back and forth went as follows, where Morale asked Flame the following, who produced this specific song? And Flame replied by saying, me, Zoo, and Keywind. And then Morales said, okay, cool, because Zoocci doesn't like me ever since I've been cool with Marcus, so I'm really not trying to involve myself in anything that he's involved in For my peace sake, bro, I don't have time for whatever he's on. I just want to be out of his way completely without fail. Now, the thing about Zoocci is that I knew his fallout would stay low, was going to affect other artists or I guess other relationships in a way we wouldn't have expected. I mean, his fallout with Marcus Harvey stems from the beef he has with the label. And now because Zoocci isn't on good terms with Marcus, while anyone who currently has a relationship with him in the industry is indirectly an op of Zoocci's, as we're seeing with Morale right now. And that's unfortunate because, I mean, he's literally declined to work on 2 music videos just because Zoocci is tied to them. And that's pretty much money he's leaving on the table, but I guess he's sticking to his own principles and avoiding unnecessary confrontation. Now, moving on to the next victim, we have Cassper in your vest. Now, I think Morales' dislike for Cassper started when he was assigned to shoot the music video for Diamond Walk. Now, I think during the shooting of the video, Cassper came off as very arrogant and difficult to work with, which I guess left a long-lasting impression on Morale. So, one of his posts in relation to Cassper goes on to say, "LOL, this is the video where the king of Biliato was giving me a hard time. I don't like this video. This is not even how the video was supposed to be. Our boss, bra bebe ba, is the reason it went this way. Hashtag RIP Grootman somebody."
I'm not gonna lie, at this shoot, Cassper was different. Like, he was so rude to me. I didn't even understand what was going on. Cassper was late for the shoot. He pulled up around 3 or 4 when he was supposed to come at 12, right? And I'm being told on the spot, like, yo, the cars are not coming, so we can't use the studio. So I'm obviously shook. And then he was like very focused on his boxing match, you know? So his mind wasn't really at the shoot. It was as if he was being forced to do the shoot, you know? So I was on time, just doing my job, and he was there just thinking about going to gym.
How was it? Where is it? How was it?
One last angle.
Did it come out right?
Yeah.
3 minutes. One more shot, please, madonna.
I still got time.
Shall I tell us what I job?
I still got time.
No, he has to be there by 8. I said I have to be in the gym at 8. Start training at 8. Hey, go. I'll tell you, man, lang it's like that. I want you to try to get a shoot. This is too clean. Where my shoes? My shoes, brother. Please. I don't want to just end up in the bar.
So because they told me that we're not going to the studio, I started like compromising and coming up with other plans. So they had to like stay a bit longer, but Cassper was not feeling me at all, you know? And I won't lie, for the first time, I was like afraid of him. Obviously he's big, he's like so big, like he's so big, like he kept calling himself gorilla. And I won't lie, he's big like that, you know, like when you touch him, it's like a hard wall, you know what I'm saying? So imagine like this big nigga is telling you like, yo, Poison, if you don't wrap it up, I'm just gonna leave and I don't wanna do that. I was just scared, yo. I was just scared. I didn't know what to say. And everyone kept coming to me like, yo, how you gonna allow him to be rude? How you gonna allow him to just tell you what to do when you're the one working on this thing to make sure he looks good? And I was like, yo, guys, he's a gorilla.
Now, the thing about Morale is that he's been trolling Cassper throughout his crash out. I mean, one nickname he's giving Cass is Ghost Ruby's Grootman. And I guess this is in relation to Ghost Ruby spending 24 hours with Cassper. Now, besides Morale poking fun at their relationship, he also trolls Cass with the cartoon show Cassper the Friendly Ghost. Now, he asked the following question. So he is supposed to be friendly, asking in a rhetorical way because he believes, or I guess he knows that he isn't. And that's because of the video shoot where it definitely looks like the first impression he got from Cassper has been long-lasting. Now, another artist Morales decided to speak on is the Big Hash, where he shared a message that he received from Hash going off at him. So the post goes on to say, I forgot this guy. I will let him explain to you guys the context of this message because it's usually the people who aren't doing so well who have a story to tell. Now, the message that Hash sent goes on to say, actually, fuck you, Mo. knew my situation financially and you took advantage of that. You're a foul human being and as fake as they come. I want my money back today. If you don't send it back, bro, I'm so damn petty. I'll send my whole legal and management team at you. I'll blast you on socials if I have to. I'm not playing with you anymore. You're delusional. If you think I'm gonna let you walk all over me, no more being nice. I waited 3 months for a video I gave you money for. Money you asked me for that I didn't have for shit like this, knowing what I'm going through, and you have the audacity to give me these half-ass excuses. I've seen you go from fake sending to fake schedules. No more. You made shit this way. I don't care anymore. Now, I'm not sure why Morale would post this because it doesn't paint him in the best of light. I mean, Hash going off the way he did is valid because if he paid you for your service and you didn't deliver, then of course he is well within his rights to ask for his money back. So once again, why even post this, especially because it was 4 years ago? But anyways, Morale had a few words for Roboboy, Dos, as well as Kai from Creative Corner. And not to mention the slightly weird obsession that he has with Uncle Waffles. But as I said earlier, those individuals aren't part of the hip-hop culture, which is what we cover this side. So maybe someone else can touch on that. What I will say is that Morale definitely seems to be fed up with the industry and how it operates. I mean, it seems like he treats these artists as his friends, or I guess his brothers, but that's not the case because he always seems to find himself on the wrong side of the equation. I mean, he said it himself, he doesn't feel respected and doesn't care for apologies. I just think when it comes to business, there's no place for friendships because at some point, someone is going to eventually feel like they're getting taken advantage of, or I guess in this case, not respected, and that's just going to affect both the business and personal relationship entirely. So his decision to operate via his agency is the best course of action, but after this crash out, I'll be surprised if he manages to pull the same amount of work. I mean, exposing several artists like this is an easy way to blacklist yourself from the industry, but at the same time, the guy is super talented. I mean, his work speaks for itself, so maybe there are some artists who might want to still work with him, but they'll have to accept the fact that if there ever happens to be a misunderstanding with him, they'll probably be a part of his next crash out. But with that said, you guys let me know your thoughts on this. Is the crash out from Morale valid, or should he have kept this to himself? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.